So I sat down and said, okay, I need to re-strategize my activities. So what did I do? I said, okay, social studies students, what's the history? So I went for their constitution. And I read and realized that for the we became friends in school together. Now this guy who's very fluent in P became my campaign manager. And the summary is that he manages me from the PRO to SRC to grassroots. And some will know him. And he's the person of Obata. I'll just say. Now, for PRO, as an association, this is what you are supposed to do. First, you need to do branding. Branding is very, very important. The branding is not just about you wearing kaftan or suit. It's about the information you put out. It's very now we are in a digital society, so we are always using WhatsApp to deliver information. How do you design your letter? Sorry, let's say an intro or a heading. How is your heading like when an information is coming? As a peer, you need to have a template. When the information comes, they know that this is coming from Shadrach. Even though it can be copied, this is your style. You need the heading and the ending. It's very important. So what I was doing is that I'll issue a communique and I'll sign, powered by Akudugu Isaac. Then the former bureau called me and said, my guy, if you want to contest for a position, then in this school, the history is that people don't like long names. Get one that will stick to their head. I said, oh wow. So I sat down and looked, Akudugu and Isaka, which one would be familiar? I said, no, Isaka will be very familiar. Let me use Akudugu so that it will be very difficult for them to pronounce. Then once they get it, it will stick into their head. So anytime I release information powered by Akudugu, so then the information will come. Akudugu's communication bureau, social PR. So that's the template. Then 2, you must make sure that every information you issue is from the right source. If you are an association, a department, and those who are non-academic associations, especially if you are an academic association department, that's where you effectively communicate. The first person you should contact in the department is your exam officer, because they deal with mostly academic matters. And when you are very close with him, you always get every vital information. You should take interest in timetable. That is the timetable you use for lectures, quizzes, and exams. Now, when you get this, you make sure that you break it down. You don't just copy the timetable and say, this timetable for lectures. Some of them are in groups. It is a work. Take your time, break it down, and say, group 1, Monday, this is what you have. Tuesday, this is what you have. Wednesday, this is what you have. You need to do that for them to feel your impact. Otherwise, as a PRO, what can you do? If you're a PRO for podcast science or poster, you cannot do it. The best you could do is to communicate to them effectively. And then once you do that, you become their friend. Any information you need, they become interested. The third aspect you should do is that do not be in a hurry to release information. And do not be in a hurry to be responding to people on the WhatsApp pages. Especially those of us who are fond of using the emoji that like random or trash, or when you do that, you create an impression that affects your brand. And as a PRO, as a public relations person, that is not part of your job. You need to take every arsenal that comes of it. don't become an organizer. Now to the bloggers too. On the same aspect of the rules. As a blogger in this school, you need verification just from two sources. One from the SRC and then two from the Maiden list. The SRC is the mouthpiece of all students going in the school. So it is vital that every information is put out. The least we can do is to take it, but not to put the information. So you get a blogger, SRC releases an information, and then they pick it and twist it. Then when that happens, you are not helping the university and you are not helping the association as a whole. You need to block what is said, not to add or subtract. That is the purpose of blogging. You either block it the way it is or you don't. I know Kobe is here when he comes to speak. I know he will affirm what I'm saying. Yeah. All right. Now, straight to my advice to you, the parents. There was a very bad, bitter experience that I had while acting on the SRC in 2018, 2019. It was very horrible, and I pray none of you goes through that. And it was this same social media and our same people who did that. We just woke up, and then some group of people designed a very beautiful flyer. SRC back on massive remote tomorrow. Oh! And the flyer was flying everywhere. Then those who were distributing it more was the PROs. I said, oh, now of course I'm there and say, my brother, why are you doing this? Because it is not SRC that's sanction. And then that was when we were involving in social media. So we were having a template that we used to, issue information on WhatsApp. So what did they do? They copied our template, copied the information, and put it there, signed Akurubu Isaka, acting vice president. Oh! My brother is at the back, this back. They know. So what we need to define. So that is when SRC stopped issuing messages on WhatsApp. And then we now have to revert to PDF. So that every release will sign PDF. Even with that, they were still able to revert and copy. You see, when that happens, it's like you have turned to become a subversive person, a non-progressive person, and you are not helping the society to grow. The advice is that, like the way the SRC president said, this is the university we have agreed voluntarily bought the application form. Even if you were misled by someone, take it that you voluntarily came on your own. So we need to protect the image of the university, regardless of whatever is happening. Because if you graduate and you go out, that is when you feel the impact of whatever happened. I once entered a public institution in Accra, and I mentioned, said, oh, you were the one doing all that rubbish in UOB. That university is not a university, and it was so unfair. And it was largely because of how our brothers and sisters did the communication at that time. At that time, I was so confused, I don't even know what to do again. But we prayed unto the Lord, and He gave us a revelation. And that was that we should preach to our brothers and sisters. When we do so, they will listen. And the summary is that they did listen. Please, going forward, when you have an issue, like the witness has been saying, I beg you in the name of God, contact them. Make your agitation known, and they will take it. But if we on our own become our own lawmakers and lawbreakers, we are not helping the institution to grow, and we are not helping our own selves. Now, if you are a PRO sitting here and you are in level 200 and you have a political ambition, I advise you to take your PRO role very seriously. Take it as morning, evening, daily job. Communicate as if you don't do anything, but don't forget your academics. Because once you are able to brand yourself well from that perspective, I can tell you that 50% of your work is done. There is, money. So you can use it to do your daily learning. The last part I would like to take you through and talk to you is about the impact and the relations of external communication. The impact and the relationship of what external communication. Then that has to deal with the bloggers. Please, bloggers, we like you so much. Without you, we cannot grow. But sometimes I know the work. We do it because we want our blogs and our pages to grow. The sensationalism sometimes is too much. For example, SRC blew 100 billion on SRC week celebration. You see the word blew. They've just thrown it away. You see, they've not done anything, they've just thrown the money away. When you do that, in fact, then you go into the content and you realize that they have provided details which is not blue. So if somebody don't read the content, say, I could go blue 100 billion on SRC at this night. Then somebody will see and say, this guy, they chopped the 100 billion. Then it becomes very difficult to get yourself out of that mess. So, I beg you, we want you to blog us, but give us a good headline. At least SRC at this night, 100 billion, small. Or SRC at this night, 10, or something. I don't know. They know how to do it. Can you suggest one? Imagine you being a PRO and they give you small money to run this book. Then the next thing you see, PRO of Joshua blew 10 times on a workshop. You see, then you'll be wondering about. It is the same thing. I went to join news to grant an interview during that time, during the issues. Then somebody in his room took a picture, the television, and they wrote there, SRC is not part of the demonstration. That's one. Two, I also said that this is a university that we are into education, so students must not embark in lawlessness. As president said, students are lawless. Then he put those things on the platform. You don't go and listen to the video, then you think that Akurugu says we are lawless. You see, then the blogger takes SRC president, UW says students are lawless, that's why they are demonstrating. Oh, my brother. You see, if we do this to ourselves, you are not helping me, you are not helping the school, and you are not helping yourself as well. And so the bloggers, please, we need you to help SRC to grow. And so if you need any information, kindly let them give it to you. Help blogging like the way they do K University SRC in practice on students. There is more into it. But blend it nice. You see, do the SRC involved in what? Student financial packages to students. But here they will say SRC dropped 10 billion on student financial support. Not like that. You see, we don't chop 10 billion. You can't chop 10 billion. Can you chop 10 billion? It's not nice. So That's to the bloggers, and I know once God is here, he will take you through that, and he will guide you according to. Please. Now, social media does not forget, especially Facebook. Whatever you put there, it will always remind you. And so let's be cautious of what we put out there. Take into consideration that we will be reminded one day. And I know that one day we will all be big men and big women in this room. Is that not the case? So for that matter, let's be cautious of what we do. I wish you all the best. Do your work as a PRO by consulting the right people before you issue an information. As a PRO, please do not issue an information when you have not gotten permission and clearance from your president or your leader. Please make sure that whatever information you have, even if you've gotten clearance from the president, still go and put it on your executive page, because there could be typo errors. People even get the content wrong. These days, when we are reading, we don't take care to look at construction. But we need to do that because it's an investment. And so somebody should issue a policy, then you critique the wood and honor and content codes, but not to attack the person. Is that the case? On this note, I want to thank you all. Wish you all the best. It's an advice, and I know you will all take it in good faith. Make sure you brand yourself well, both bloggers and criminals, because branding is very important. On this note, may the Almighty God guide you through and see you in all your future endeavors. May we meet at the top one day. Amen.
I was thinking we do it better. That is His Excellency Isaka Akudu, UW Brasa. Quickly, we want to take about 5 questions based on the presentation from His Excellency President and then His Excellency Isaka Akudu. They will do as they are answering about 5 questions. If there are more than, I think we will come back later and answer them. But for now, we are taking 5 questions. So if anyone has any questions there, especially you can move to this side. And then we take all the 5 questions and then you ask for answers. Any question based on the presentation from His Excellency Felix Onko and that of His Excellency Isaka. Questions, 5 questions, and then we come on.
My question goes to the president, not issues in terms of realized appointment of team members in the SRC. My department members were asking department members my name is SK Atu, PRO for the math department. What I was asking is that my members used to ask that why are the members of the department not appointed to any of the committees of the SRC? Because I realized no mass department member is part of the SRC, apart from the LA, where the president and the first president.
A relatively unrelated question, but I will seek answers. If you can please come forward.
Where is your father? If you come and answer this question.
My question for His Excellency, I don't know, is that around that? I want to find out, I think the 2 speakers, that is His Excellency Akudu and His Excellency President, they all spoke about how student bloggers and most PROs present misinformation. Good. But you could realize that the whole thing goes to the fact that the information ends up denting the image of the various emails or association they actually have. I want to find out is prioritization of projects not part of this issue we are actually talking about, because I've had the opportunity to meet some people and also get some comments from people who ask me, for example, the swimming pool His Excellency spoke about. I've had some people who have asked me, this 200,000 Ghana, that is 2 billion, being used for the construction of the swimming pool and other things. Okay, could we have channeled this amount into something? That is where the prioritization comes in. So you have to realize that even before the budget comes out with the amount, they see the itinerary, which is the first one. The students start getting angry, not because of just the amount per se, but because there are certain things they were actually expecting. That is about the hostel issues we are battling with. Because I don't see the reason. That is just my opinion. Okay, I might want to have a hostel built for people to be satisfied in there before maybe we'll talk about recreation. That is to me.
I think some people want to ask.
Thank you very much. My name is Genawanda. I'm very glad to be part of this program. Now, my question is that over the years, students in UAW they are very entrepreneurial and they take part in activities all over the country. For example, some NGOs would organize quizzes and you will see students of UAW taking part in it. Maybe TV3 mentor, students of UAW taking part in it. Such activities, is it right for the student to go and publicize the school that I'm from UAW? And also other associations that are political and UAW students are taking part in it. Is it also right that students can go and publicize themselves that they are part of the school? And if they have to go, are there any procedures they have to pass through? Because there is something written about that in the student handbook, which many students don't actually do. So I wanted to know.
Excellency, I will respond to that.
All right, my name is Agnes Onyema, student journalist, sports, William Udebe. You spoke about information managing, and then I want to put this before you for you to answer. During the just ended Interfraces Games, I was on the grounds with a colleague, student presenter, and then based on what happened or transpired, a lady who happens to be a lecturer after I discovered really spoke very rudely to my colleague, lady, student presenter. But unfortunately for me, I never knew she is a lecturer because she's very young. So I was neat and trying to discover more as a journalist. So I realized I got her details from her herself and everything. So assuming I went on air, whereby my host was interviewing me as to giving the actual details as what transpired. Just as we had students protesting here and there, I spoke about it, but it wasn't as much deadly as it should have been. But when it comes to the lecturer and other things that seem to have transpired from the lady, I was mute about it. The question now is, did I report exactly what happened, or I am shielding something that I think should have been put out there for everybody to learn from? So is that the way to go? Or better still, we should keep on trying to cover up because we want to protect the image of the school. Thank you.
My question goes to the GASA president. In your presentation, you mentioned branding. I had an experience recently. I was at a ministry, and students from various schools, KUST, UG, and then UMass. And then you realize that when you meet these students, our students, let me say academically, everything, we are very good as compared to them. But the moment you mention the name of your school, then people tend to back up. And you ask yourself why. So you said branding. What is the GRASAC and SRC doing to change this whole scenario? Because it's becoming something else. And when it comes to job opportunity, we lose a lot. So what is the SRC doing? Because I didn't see anything in the budget that was like helping branding the name of the school. So I think here, if branding is very, very important, scale of preference too is very, very important. So let's brand the name of the school because it's affecting a lot of us.
All right, my name is Maiden from the Initial Department of Adolfasman. My own is a suggestion. My parents will classify with me, and I'd like to also inform the board so that you add us the LA meetings. When you go for LA meetings, even some presidents and general councillors, the moment you close the meeting, they are done with whatever they are supposed to do. And the students will be attacking us individually. Your presidents are saying they want to bring pool at the South Campus, they want to do this project. Since we are not there, we can't explain ourselves today. So I'm pleading that you add the PROs to the LA meeting so that now you go and set things up in and we can explain ourselves to them. I learned it's a way of selling the SRC board. Thank you.
My name is Salam Combat, the president for NCL Scholars in this campus. My question is, why is it that the current level 300 legislature, when we go out to take a transcript, we are not given the chance to do it. Last year, I personally took about 5 scholars in my association. They wanted to go for a position, so I went and paid for the transcript. I followed this transcript for the whole semester, and the feedback I had from the academic office that I have to take letters from them and send it to the various departments of these students before I can get their raw scores, come back to them and they prepare my transcript for me. And I was like, I've paid for this transcript. Do I have to go to the various departments and take this raw result and bring it back before you prepare it for me? When I said that, they were like, okay, give us some time, get back to me. I called the SRC president then, and he said we will work on it. So now, I have my receipt over there, no transcript for me. When you go there, they'll tell you that your department have not got your raw scores. You can't give me the transcript. So I don't know what to do.
Thank you for all the questions, His Excellency. And I'll take note of them and respond to them accordingly.
All right, thank you so much for your questions. I'll respond to the ones directly related to me, and then those general ones I will also respond. But the specific to Abante, you will come. Okay. Now, the first one, reporting an incident between a lecturer and a student in the media. Now, you see, in reporting, like you said, you don't have to shield anybody. I believe that the reporting is made because of what you want to provide an information. And so, the ethics in the media house and the media that you are working, what do? You can say there was an altercation between Mrs. A and Mr. A, right? And then maybe in the altercation, Mrs. A insulted Mr. A in a manner that was not decorous, in a manner that was not acceptable. Then once this is invested, I believe some senior members could be listening, and then they could take it back. Or you report it to the said lecturer's department, the faculty dean, to take it up. Because we are not to accept anything that would degrade anybody's human dignity. Because human dignity is very important. And to allow anybody to degrade it down is unacceptable. But you must defend it also within the laid down procedures. And so my appeal to you is that, yes, don't go and make it sensational in the radio. Today there was near fracas. You know, when you do that, that's where the sensationalism comes in. But you report as it is, and then you seek that justice is meted out to the student who was brutally assaulted. Now, I realized one thing, that when the PRO for which department about you not attending your program, early childhood, all the PROs were clapping, right? Very good. I know you are happy and you want to attend. Good. But do you know that as you sit there right now, no one prevents you from attending a limit? You see, in my submission, I said history. When you are leading an association, history is very, very important. In the history, you read both your constitution and the SRC constitution, right? And when you are a PRO, you must attend a meeting. It's a must. So how do you do that? That's why we said right for accreditation. You will be given. There's no way a PRO will write for accreditation and you will not be granted. Except having chaired the house before, I'm being real to you and political. Except in exceptional circumstances where I know that when you come, you'll be subversive, then I decline your accreditation. That's what we do. Previously, since I came into the university and I was a PR before, I do attend. I write, I, so a student of this department, and the PRO of this association, write to you to seek accreditation to attend. Speaker or whoever chair cannot turn down that accreditation now. The Constitution has mandated people who ought to be members of the House. So if you want it, it's a long-term process where the Constitution have to be amended for you to become legal part. But as it stands now, no one prevents you from attending. You haven't activated the clauses to attend. So I'll urge you that the next notice you will see about SRC meeting, write and copy the SRC president in addition. He could intervene because sometimes we do deny accreditation because of small chop, you understand? But when you come, you'll be given snack and water so that the price or the cost of the area doesn't go too high. So I urge you all to take it up and then attend. Transcript, then I'll come to branding. Transcript, level 300, level 200. There is a very sincere and a very serious problem in the university, and we cannot hide or run away from it. I can assure you that in the few meetings we have attended, the problem is almost resolved. This is because of the introduction of the ITS platform. In fact, it has not only jammed, it has jammed up almost everything. But the South Africans were here, and then they took us through some kind of processes to explain as to why there is no something. And so they are almost resolving it, and we are always on the neck of the money for it to be resolved. The last time I remember, I granted you with the registrar to that effect. And it's both postgraduate and undergraduate students. And so we are really working on it. And I can assure you that before you go home, all unpublished results and published results will be accessed, especially those of you on scholarship, so that you can present it for scholarships. But for now, it's very unfortunate and it's disheartening that you are not graduate and you can't have access to the results. You understand? But it will be our best. Now, branding. I spoke about branding. So, branding of the university. SRC did the budget, and there was no budget on branding of the university, right? But I believe they did a budget on publicity. 15,000. Wow. That's 1.5 billion. Huh? It's not billion. 150 million. Okay. Anyway, you see, the branding of the essence comes from I and you. We sitting in this room, we brand the essence. No matter the kind of branding essence, if they should go to BBC and do advert, and we still want to tell the image, we will do that. The branding is us. And why do I say so? KMST and Labour, they are not in any way more than us. Not at all. It's not like rubbing shoulders, but we last went for a meeting with the minister. If our brand tries to speak and you hear some essence president, you'll be marveled. You understand? But we sit here, everything the SRC does is perception. That's our problem with this one. We go with perception. And when the perception is negative, anything SRC publicized, we don't see the need to forward. Yeah. UGSRC and KBST, they are very active on Twitter. We sitting in this room, how many of us have active Twitter accounts? And we tweet every morning. You have. How many of us have and we tweet? That is why the branding, that's where the visibility comes in. When KBST released a statement, 2 or 5 people within 10 minutes would have tweeted it. When they tweet on their official account, within 1 hour, they would have tweeted more than 100 stories. And that gives the investor a brand. We, Facebook, no. Twitter, no. Instagram, no. WhatsApp, cry, 50. You see, when it happens that way, it's very difficult. I'll urge all of us that we are in a very digital society state now. You must have a very active Twitter account. It doesn't cost anything. You just need your name and some things. Then you register. You are gone. Even right now, you can create one. You have to get an Instagram account, Facebook account. There are so many of them. But these are the most popular ones. Then you follow the pages of the SRC. Anything they do, you tweet, you forward, you like, you comment. Facebook, if SRC should post and 50 people should comment, the post can reach about 1K. If 50 people should comment on Facebook, it will get about 1K. And UW will be on the map. But some of us will see these people. And you go. That's what everybody do. Perception. I'll urge us to own the essence. The essence is not for a brand here or for any of us here. It's for us. Like me, like anybody, I was there, I left, some people came, you also leave. I'm now at graduate school, I'll leave, somebody will come. It's like that. But when we own it, then we'll make it. Now on the issue of going somewhere that you mentioned in the past before. It is our past behavior that is now hunting us. But we still have the ability to turn things around. And I went to Joy News for us to have the interview that day. A journalist came to me and said, "Oh, Mr. Kubi, play something to you." It will amaze you that this was a level 300 student being interviewed on Adum TV. You know how people listen to Adum. And said, in tweet, school no cry and pray. Until the morning there, you better school no cry and pray for that. Until you watch you go class by class, you go sacro muna. Meanwhile, they did it too. They went to each class and make sure that if you are attending like they sack you. What kind of life? You are demonstrating. I said, I don't want to be part. Is it false? See, this is trouble. Is it false? But that's what they did. And the man was like, sure. And level 300 students in school cry and pay. So what are you doing there? So you see, what would the journalists get an impression about this one? And somebody, you cry. Oh, so many things. You know that, and that is what is affecting us. But I can tell you that UEW is one of the best universities you can get in the whole world. When you go to KMUST, with all their years, if you go and see their SRC office, it's in a sorry state. You understand? It's horrible. So important. You understand? Your tenses is very important. Because if you go and start, you see, we in Africa we mix two things. It's different from being respectful, and it is different from being timid. Respecting authority doesn't mean that you should lose your sense of reasoning. You understand? You visit an office and my brother is, let's say, the minister of education. He said, my brother, good morning, what can I do for you? He said, you see, I'm here. You are not organized. The fact that you speak to him doesn't mean you are not respecting him. Do you understand? At times, I can even be there or go to transcript office. And students will come in there and say, I applied for transcript and I don't know where to go. And I said, I should come here. Oh my God. I'm telling you, these are facts here. You see, when you do that, there is so much pressure in the transcript office. So you know what they will do? They will throw you out. Then you come out more frustrated. You cause the frustration. You are a student. Why are you entering an office and you are intimidated? Why? Do you know that right now you can just go to the vice chancellor? Do you know that? Unless he's in the meeting, he has no right to sack you. You don't know. You can just go and knock. I want to see this. Then they ask you, who are you? I'm so and so. Why? It's personal. That's all. That is kind of my personal matter. You understand? I don't do that. But when you get to the security now, where are you going? Sorry, sir, I wanted to go and buy something. Already lost it in advance. You understand? The confidence counts a lot. And I want you to be very confident. There's one university in Ghana, their students speak horrible English. But I don't want to mention. I don't think they are premier university. It's not like that. I've been listening to them, they don't speak the real English. You know it's not English. It's not English. You understand? Why should maybe KDST Gasa president sees me and I should be telling him? He will run with 3 trousers. I'm telling you. With 1 polo shirt like this and some other 3. So you know what I do? I wear 1 shoe Monday to Wednesday. Yeah, then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I wear the other shoe. I will iron it nice. Huh?
You iron it?
Yeah. What are you talking about? I will not give you space. No. Yes. Then when I run like maybe the top here is dirty, I'll fold it like this. Yeah, tackling correct. That's, you have to brand yourself. Even though you know how to. I see some of our colleagues wearing chaps to lecture. Some he wear t-shirt to lecture. You see, you are not. The conscience you are in is not right. Because this is a university, you have to dress like this to lecture. But if you start dressing like this man and this man, they say you are not correct. They think it's a gentleman. No, it's a university. If you are a gentleman, and you graduate and you don't know how to do your own tie, it's a disaster. Tie. It's a disaster. And as a lady, you must wear correct skirt. Correct one, not, you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Correct one.
Yeah, correct one.
Some of them are too inviting. It's not. Don't let us do that. You understand? So I'll end there.
And do a simple exercise. Now, to be some very dignified individuals who are also joining. So on getting PRs early, I think individually I've started, but maybe I'll invite a lot of the other PRs on board so that we can push that one too, because it requires legal processes. We have to go along some constitutional processes, and that needs to happen. So we work on that. But again, as GASA president, I want to associate with that. No one will stop you from coming to the meeting. I was not a PRO last academic year, but I attended all the meetings, all of them. I didn't miss one, all of them, from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. I'm there. This semester, I took the first early meeting to pass the budget. I was there from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. Although the speaker my favorite, I didn't get the time to do it. Every day he accepted that when he saw me outside, I said, you are my favorite. So the whole budget, I think I actually pay submission. But you should be there. Yeah, so let's be here. So you are supposed to. But no one will stop you from coming. The only thing you need to do is the right for accreditation. You be accredited. You can be an observer. You be entitled to all other things as members of the house, except maybe our voting rights. That one you won't have. But all other things that are deserving of a member of the house, you will also be accorded that. And then on the issue of percentages of the school fees, the first petition I wrote as a student of the was on 1st March 2021. I wrote to the then acting as president, Emmanuel Ojofosu, and that was to make sure that he was president, but then his tenure had been extended, so he was acting. Thank you. So before then, there had been a communique that if you had not paid your school fees, you're not going to register right for I think it's we're coming to write it. The first petition I wrote was part time, and then we got them to negotiate the money, 50% paying out, the rest was supposed to go and register and then write. So I think that has become a norm now, and then pay a certain percentage, you guys should understand, right? The last exercise I want us to do quickly before I introduce somebody really fine people here is that if you have a phone here with you, please let's pick up our phones. So I'm doing a very simple exercise. Please let's pick up our phones. And then maybe you can switch on your data small. If you have access to Wi-Fi, so please do that. Switch on your data, don't switch it on for, switch it small. Switch your data on for me. Or get access to internet. And then let's start from Facebook. Let's start from Facebook. We are starting from Facebook. Yeah. The next one is okay, if it is going now. So if it is one technical, it's now. Almost all. Wi-Fi. For who? It's here. So we can connect it. Okay, I understand the Wi-Fi can be connected from here. Please do well. Please do what you block on Facebook now. And then UWSRC official one. UWSRC official one. Please follow the handles and then follow UWSRC LA. That is the Legislative Assembly. That is all the information about LA also. So both of them, please do well and follow them. And official. I think the last thing you will see is a communique. The last thing you see is a communique. So please check it in that one. Remember using their personal data, giving their email address, their phone numbers to register for those accounts. So obviously, their personal data, we can take it away. But this time around, the phone numbers, the email address, everything that is needed to register is in the name of the council. That means you have to leave it behind because you bought it with the council's money. You bought all the things with the council's money. So they will have to leave it behind before you go to the email address. So that is going to make sure that going forward, these things are not going to happen again. So this time around, a few steps are taken to get that right. So please, if I'm done with Facebook, the handle is uwsrc.winneba. That is the handle at uwsrc.winneba on Facebook. And then Instagram and Twitter is uewsrc1. Instagram and Twitter is uwsrc1. Oh, sorry, finish. Sorry. So next time we We are starting with Facebook. The handle is uewsrc.whatever. That is the handle. The handle is uewsrc.
There's a popular saying that our past is like a nightmare until we choose to awaken our present. So you and I, no matter how the story of UW has been for the past years, that is the past. We have to choose among ourselves that we are waking the present. And the present starts from today. Depends on what we do in our own capacity to grow the name of UW, to be a great one. Of course, we can't do it alone. So, thank you very much. Okay, so I was asked to keep you company and then say something to student PROs and student bloggers and student journalists. So, I decided to say something or point my own thing. I decided to talk about being a professional blogger or PR. I want to understand. So, I'll speak to you on how to be a professional blogger or PR and student journalist. So, I said that being a professional blogger does not essentially concern with yourself or title, but rather it is a matter of having the right temperament and quality to cause a positive change in your environment or your organization. So what I'm simply saying here is that it is not a title of being a PR. It's not a title of being a student blogger or being a student journalist. What matters is your temperament. You are going to work with people. And I appreciate it when the Gaza president was speaking, wanted to get a comment of what the meaning of PRO or bloggership is, or student journalism. It's communication. And communication is human interaction. If you don't get it, you always lose. So how do you communicate with people? You must have a good temperament. And you must have that quality of impacting your world, impacting your community, your environment. How do you do that? By making sure that you lead your way, you lead your course. Understand that this is what you do. And you have ultimate control about it. Are you good? So it's really no concern about your personal well-being or that of your immediate boss. But having a broader outlook and awareness of the overall organization objective. So I don't know what it is. Some of you are SRC, PR, some are core, some are department, some are home, and other associations on campus. The bloggers are also doing their student journalists. So you must want to identify yourself. What organization do you find yourself in? What are the objectives and the goals, the aims and vision of that setup? What does it seek to do? If you know that and you are conscious of that, trust me, your work is nothing less or more than to make sure that you achieve the overall agenda. That is the interest of the organization. Are we okay? So I built 4 pillars or attributes I want to talk about. Being a professional student journalist, PRO or blogger. And I said that the first one is research and fact-check information. First one, research and fact-checking information. Second one is integrity. Third is sacrifice. Fifth one is attitude. So I'll explain. So when I said research and information fact-check, it's an indispensable quality of a professional student journalist, blogger or PR. Yeah. Yeah, what I mean here is that as a student blogger or student journalist or PR, you must be a person that you will sleep and wake up and all that you care is research. Making inquiry, delving and finding information. Because without information, you can't survive as a student journalist, blogger or PR. So research, information, fact-checking. You must fact-check information. You must do thorough job. So firstly, make sure that you research, you make inquiry, and you verify information. The CASA presents with mention of that. Make sure that what you are putting out is in the right context, because it will be unprofessional of you if you release communique or you're a blogger and then you have to do a return that, or a student journalist, you have to put the information, come back and apologize or retract. I think it will lack your credibility. Are you good? The second one. The second one is integrity. And I said that it's the most significant ingredient needed to stimulate effective growth in peer-outship, student journalism, and bloggership. Integrity. Today we live in a world that is, when it comes to morality, it's a fluid one. People are easily compromised. How do you make sure that all in your work you stick by your principles and your values? You cherish those two, and that you will not sacrifice your values and your principles on the altar of cheap popularity. So you must be intentional about what you do as a student journalist, student blogger, or PR. So in today's morally unstable and unchangeable world of situational ethics, the temptation or enticement to compromise on your principles and values in challenging